Hello. Okay. This is going great. Hello everybody, I'm Anna. I'm one of the two mythical unicorns. Welcome to our channel and to this video. It is great to have you here. Today we will be talking about books, because that is what we mostly talk about on this channel. And today I thought it would be interesting to see how international my bookshelves are. So I looked at my shelves. I tried to find as many authors from different countries as possible and gathered them together just to get a sense of where do my books come from? Who wrote them? Where did they get their inspiration? What were their surroundings, their culture? Just to see, where my books come from. Like, how diverse is my bookshelf? And if you want to do the same thing too, I encourage you to, because it was really interesting, and we'll just jump right into it. So I started with the Scandinavian countries, because that is where I'm from. So firstly, I have more than one Swedish author in my bookshelf, but for this video I chose Isabel Törnqvist, and she's written Fågeln, which translates to the bird. The sequel to this one is coming out really soon, maybe today, actually, I think. Really enjoyed this book, really good book, excited for the sequel. And then we go for Denmark, and for that I have this beauty. Look at it. It's so pretty. And this is the collected works from Hans Christian Andersen. So these are the collected classic fairy tales that he wrote. And that was it for the Scandinavian countries. So let's move on to the UK islands area. So firstly, let's go for Scotland. And I went for Jenny Colgan. This is the Swedish translation. It was a gift, so that's why it's in Swedish. In English it is called The Little Bookstore Around the Corner, I believe. Really enjoyed this book, really sweet, really easy, enjoyable. Nothing revolutionary, but it's a feel-good book that makes you happy. And there are a lot of books in the book. And we like books. So yeah, moving on. Then let's go for Ireland, because I said the area, and we have Oscar Wilde. We have this little thing. It's 2 short stories. It's Lady Alroy, and I don't know if it's translated to The Nightingale and the Rose, but that is what it's called in Swedish. Yeah, so Oscar Wilde. And then we have England, and I went for classic J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter. I know this book was written somewhat in Edinburgh, but she is from England, so therefore England. And I love Harry Potter, don't we all? And now we're moving on to the rest of Europe. And first up we have France. And for that I have Candide by Francois Voltaire. I think I bought this for a literature course. I do not remember what it's about. I have read it. I remember nothing. It's from the 1700s, so it's really old. And then we have Germany. And for that I went with Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. Not sure how you pronounce that in any other way than Swedish. So that is what we're going with. I know this has been made a movie as well. I have not seen the movie. I loved the books. It's like 10 years ago I read them, or maybe even more. So I think I'm a bit old for them, but they have a special place in my heart. So they stay in my bookshelf, the entire trilogy. Then we have Switzerland. And it said that this author was Swiss German. I think he was born in Germany, but he spent a big portion of his childhood in Switzerland. So since we already have a German author, we're going for Switzerland because it sure had some effect on him, right? So we're going with Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. And have I read it? Yeah, I probably have. I think this is one as well that I got from a literature course, and I don't think I read all of it, and I remember nothing. Maybe I should try to reread some of these. Next up we have Hungary, and for that we have Imre Cortes, and this is the Swedish version. I think the English version is usually translated to Faithless, if I remember correctly. I cannot pronounce the original title, so I'm not gonna try. It takes place during the Second World War. It was really heavy to read, but really good. So yeah, if you're interested in that kind of story, this is a really good one. He lived through the Second World War himself and has some experience about what he's writing, which makes it more real. So yeah. And then we have Poland, and for that I have Heart of Darkness. Once again, Swedish translation. This one is as well one that I bought for a literature course. This one I do remember fairly well, actually. They are sailing. They are on a boat. It is by Joseph Conrad. This book was not my cup of tea. I guess it was good to read to just get a sense of what it was like back then. I do not remember when it's from, and it doesn't say on the back. So yeah. And lastly we have a Czech author, Arnost Lustig, and this is also a Second World War story. Takes place in a ghetto. I don't remember which one. It's called The Lemon. It's just a short story, as you can tell, but I find that period of time very interesting, and this was very sad, obviously, but still very good. Moving on, Africa. And for that I went with Albert Camus. The English translation is usually The Stranger or The Outsider, and he had a French citizenship, but he was born and raised in Algeria. So I put that for Algeria because even if he was a French citizen, it was in Algeria he spent like his entire childhood and youth. So that is what shaped him, you know. And that was all I had for Africa. So insights. I think I need to check out some African authors, just, you know, to see what's out there, to learn something new, get new perspectives. Let's move on to Asia. And firstly we have How to Cure a Fanatic by Amos Oz, and he was from Israel. I think he died in 2018, so 2 years ago. And this I read in high school when I was like 18. We all got one, and it's exactly what it says on the front, like How to Cure a Fanatic. It's exactly what it's about. Don't really remember that much about it. I remember it was an interesting read, and you know, it's Israel and Palestine, so some background about that. So yeah, if you just want a quick read to get to know about that, this is a good one. Moving on to Russia. Metro 2033 by Dmitry Gluchovsky. Yeah, names are not my thing. I actually have a few books by Russian authors, but the Russian way of telling stories, it's just not my thing. I've read this entire one and did not pick up the next one, and I have another one somewhere where I also read the entire one, but damn, it was hard. I really struggled. Nothing but it's a really interesting story, this one. It's just, it's not my thing, and that's okay. And then we have China, Moyan, and in English this is called Life and Death Are Wearing Me Out. And I read a little bit. I got this the year that he won the Nobel Prize in Literature, 2012, it says on the back. So that is when I got it. It was a Christmas gift, and yeah, you can, I tried. I was really excited to read it. I tried. Did not go very well. Might try it again though, because, you know, it's been 8 years. I've grown. And then we have Japan. And from Japan I actually had a few to choose from, but I went with the Traveling Cat Chronicles, which I really enjoyed. I made a review of it, so if you would like to see that, we will put a link down below. Really good, really good. I do enjoy Japanese storytelling. And then we have Australia. I have quite a few Australian authors in my bookshelf, I realized. But let's just go with my favorite. J. Kristoff wrote Nevernight trilogy. He has written other books as well that I have in my shelf. I have a few hidden back there as well. I did not enjoy Lifelike. And then we have South America. Blank. I couldn't find a single book in my shelves written by a South American author. Yep. Maybe I should check that out too. Yeah. And then we have North America. And let's just go with skills. Maybe not. Adam Silvera. Okay, this is by Becky Albertalli as well. Let's Adam Silvera. And I love his books. That's why I have more of them, because he's such a good writer. I couldn't find any Canadian authors either, or anything else from North America. So that was all the countries represented in my bookshelf. And that was 18, I believe. I feel like it could have been better, and maybe it should have been better. But it's not. Will I fix it? Maybe. But I can't promise, because I am very much a mood reader, and I like to read for fun, and I like to enjoy what I'm reading. So I have a hard time reading things that I read just because I should. If you have any recommendations for any authors from any countries that I haven't mentioned here, I would love to get those recommendations. I would love to try something new out. So just leave your recommendations down below. And that was everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, bye!